High-value male archetypes, their psychology, identity, and lifestyle patterns. What is an archetype? An archetype isn't a costume. It's not a personality test. It's not fake alpha behavior. An archetype is a behavioral pattern. It's how your psychology, identity, and lifestyle align. It governs how you make decisions, how you express masculinity, how others respond to you instinctively. You're always operating from one of them. The question isn't if you have one, it's whether it's serving you the right way. Primary versus secondary archetypes. Here's where a lot of guys get confused. A lot of men don't have just one archetype. You usually have one primary archetype and several secondary archetypes. Your primary archetype runs your long-term decisions, shapes your identity, and determines your trajectory. Your secondary archetypes activate by context. Great example of this: professional archetype at work, physically dominant archetype when you're training, social or creative archetype in certain environments, maybe when you go out with friends, get some drinks, more laid back, just having a good time. And that's not confusion, that's range. The problem starts when the hierarchy breaks. High value performers, they keep hierarchy. Their primary archetype stays in control. Secondary archetypes serve the mission, they don't hijack it. That's the difference between range and instability. The archetype that works for you at 22 a lot of times will not carry you at 35. What once gave you momentum can later become friction, and you have to evolve. As men, we're constantly evolving. The party-driven archetype, the reckless archetype, the I'll figure it out later archetype, at some point those stop to work. Age, responsibility, career stage, physique, values, all of these demand evolution. If you don't update your archetype consciously, life will force the update, and a lot of times it's a painful update. So why does this matter for image, for career, making money, and attraction? The main reason is because your archetype shapes your image. Image is not just about clothes. It's your posture, it's your speech, it's your pacing, your energy, and even your decision making. People don't just see what you wear, they feel what archetype you're operating from. And that affects career trust, leadership perception, attraction dynamics, and social leverage. Men who align archetype, image, and behavior move faster and more efficiently. Men who don't feel resistance, they feel that friction everywhere. They don't see the results that they want, and it's because they're not adapting their archetypes. This is not about becoming someone fake. I want you to understand that you're not becoming someone fake in the process. It's about becoming intentional. High value men don't just reject who they are, they refine it. They keep what works and they correct what doesn't. They make the upgrade deliberately. And that is how momentum becomes leverage. That's how identity stops being accidental. High value men are constantly changing. They're constantly evolving, identifying what does not serve them anymore, discarding it, and upgrading, making the changes, making the adaptation to become the men that they want. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. That's where I break this down daily with real world examples. Also, if you want help evaluating and maximizing your image, I do work one-on-one. I only work with selective guys that are actually serious and are willing to put in the work. If that sounds like you, shoot me a DM and we can see if we can work together. As always, stay fresh and stay confident.